Alright, well the group stage is finally finished. Group A anyway. So here we are casting Jaraci Cup 4. Man, it's been a while since I did this A game. Anyway, gonna be starting the game from him as the Galzine against Descara as the coalition here on Firebase Krill. So A game was seed 3, correct? So I believe Descara had the faction pick first and he picked the map 2. Is that correct? That's kind of an interesting pick, actually. Well, I guess Descara is pretty strong in this map, but I believe he doesn't like it too much because of the carrier getting stuck in places. Yeah, that is interesting then. Although, yeah, like I said, he does tend to perform pretty well on this one, so perhaps he's okay with it. Looks like A-Game going to be going for ref mode first here. Yeah, looks like it. And that is pretty standard for Galzine in the patch. So, of course, if you're not aware, the idea is he makes 2 salvagers here, then saves up for ref mode, and then usually he'll get Sandscammer Fab right after that. And Descara going to be going for SC first as well, I think. Okay, so we're going to have a pretty chill early game here. So if I was Magpie, I would start talking about something, but I'm really not that interesting. It's like 6:50 AM, so I'm impressed with myself. I can talk about that. Ref mode on the queue like we would expect from A-Game. And Descara has already begun building that SC. Only where's the Space Runner headed? Because normally you take him up through here and then you plan on putting down the scanner to get scouting. Yeah, oh, right, I didn't talk about this, did I? I think last time I was casting, 8-up was still pretty meta, but like I think these days 6-up is better, although apparently A-Game still does 8-up. Do you really? I thought 6-up would be better in patch. Because in vanilla, the support cruiser doesn't cost any RUs, and I think that makes a big difference. And then also the salvagers don't cost, they cost more money now. Okay, there is the scanner. That's what we expected. This is maybe a better position than I often put it in. I usually put it here, but then it gets killed en route. But Descara's having none of it, so he's coming out here to kill that probe, or that scanner, that is. Probe here sees the production cruiser right there, so I think he should understand this is ref mode first, no surprises, so he's just gonna hold it on the third for a second. He'll come back in when he needs to check tech, but no reason to put that probe in danger just yet. Carrier's still not exactly where it wants to be, it's where he's gonna be trying to move to now. It's always a little awkward with the Coalition carrier and these wrecks though, because you can't move through them, so I think on this map you need to be like here, but we'll see what happens. He might have a little bit of inefficiency off of this. Oh, this is that game, isn't it? Okay, never mind. So, probe gets sniped, actually. Oh boy. I missed that. That's really good for A-Game. Descara, of course, pretty notable for keeping his probes alive, like, forever. What are we hearing? What is this noise? I don't want to talk about that. Artifact getting picked up by A-Game right here. Yeah, they really are. They really are. That's why it's such a good thing you got that that probe there, because it allows you to do whatever you want without your opponent knowing what's going on now. So A-Game's gonna pop up into third base. Doesn't even have tech yet, so this is quite risky. But with no probe to scout this, it's a lot safer than it would have been otherwise. And Descara, I believe, is trying to hide his air tech inside of the wreck or something like that. I saw something about this on the Discord server, so... I would have gone green anyway, but that's just me. You know how it is. AVs are on the field here, though, so I mean, this could be a little risky. We'll see what happens. Brailfab's on the queue, gonna finish about 30 seconds. 40 seconds, I can count. That's not even counting, that's just reading. My skills have atrophied as of late. Sandscammer does get picked off. I kind of think if Basement or Heal had been used, he would have been able to kill this LAV, actually, but kind of a small deal. It is always a little hard to tell where you are as well, because the halo kind of floats over the zone. Like, this is probably in, but it's hard to tell, right? And you don't want to use Basement or Heal until you already finish the cap there. Yeah, he's not going to get out, I don't think, though. And it looks like, actually, there could be some damage done here. These AVs are already on the third, so... So A-Game, instead of moving this third PC directly onto his third base, he's going to just kind of stick it here. Oh gosh, I didn't rename stream, did I? That's A-okay. You can't always win, can you? Rail number 1 finishing here is 2 assault rails pop out. So these salvagers shouldn't be here. They could get killed. But other than that, this looks totally fine from A-Game. The support cruise is going to finish by descara as he moves out. He'll probably cancel missile battery fab if he sees rail tech. Yeah, he canceled it, alright. He's always on top of that kind of thing, that's why I say that. Instead it'll be A-Game getting that. And I think we're moving into a pretty even mid-game. As far as units lost go, I don't think anyone's really lost much of value. It's like 150 against 100. It's going to be AC fab coming out from descara now. That's an interesting choice into railguns. Tell me again, what do you think is his logic behind that? Because I feel like fighter and gunship would be good here. Although I guess you're already getting missile ship fab, but this is just hilarious though. How he's like hidden inside of the wreck bulkhead there. It's like it's hard to see, of course, if you look at it. Like, does he have air tech? It's a little difficult to tell from some angles. You kind of have to like zoom in here and like examine it. And it's in the shadow, and it's already a pretty dark map, so. Turret gets set up here in a pretty nice forward location. I wonder if descara will wait for this artifact and try to pick that one, or just grab one of the middle ones here, but this is difficult for assault rails to deal with. I reckon they could actually just push in right now, but it's a little bit annoying. One salvager getting a little bit harassed here, but the AAV is going to back away. They don't have smoke right now. They're not by the turret, so they should die here. But gonna give some respect to that turret. I think he could bust it down, and that would get him another AAV kill. I don't know exactly how much damage he would take, but I mean, it's got to be a little nervous to leave a turret just sitting there, because you know your opponent then is taking a very kind of forward hardpoint on the map. AC fab is done here. I can't tell if he's building any of them though. No, he's not. He's just going in for rails now. Oh wait, no, he canceled it. Oh my gosh. What the heck? And I guess he got rail tech like started right after I looked away, because I don't think he had that before. When you watch descara play, the number of techs that he cancels is just like unprecedented. Armor 1 is done, and he's getting the mag accelerator now. We don't have any heavy rails on the field for A-Game just yet. This probe I think will die, yeah. 2 base runners out for A-Game. That's good for pressure, except, you know, this turret is here being annoying, so I think if I were A-Game, I would have taken this turret out. I think that was going to be important. Oh my gosh, we're still listening to the tournament music. I didn't even realize. Hold up. Hold up here. Technical difficulties. Okay. I remember you said the first Jaraci Cup or something. I cast it listening to that the whole time because I just thought it was like, this is so chill. And you were like, yeah, this kind of ruins the mood, so I decided against doing that in future games. I guess this turret actually isn't really in the best spot here. Oh boy, look at this. The assault rail is getting into a really nice position here. There is defense on the main for A-Game. He could take a bit of damage here, but it's not going to be anything compared to this. descara, of course, does have rails, but they're not in that area, so he can build some more. That's probably what he's doing already. Does he stand to lose an SC here? This could be a big deal. Yes, the support cruiser is going to go down. The turret falls as well, I think, to this missile ship. And no damage is done to A-Game's main, so this is actually quite bad for descara. Okay. I'm liking what I'm seeing here. Base runner heal going to be deployed in an attempt to extend the life of the base runner, but it won't work. He's going to go down. No air tech from descara, so... But A-Game has just scouted as well. I'm not sure if he was looking for that. Usually you're... In the heat of the moment, you don't really notice these things, but if he was looking, he'll know there's no air tech here either. Another turret is set up by descara, again in an attempt, I think, to... Oh my gosh, this again. I think in an attempt to stop the extractions from going through. To that end, he killed one of the base runners. This one didn't manage to pick up the artifact, I'm not sure how. So descara's got two artifacts in his hands right now. This is very much, you know, descara's style. I always notice him doing this, and it does a lot of damage, I think, to his opponent. He's very good at putting on the pressure that way. Heavy Rail's getting up into position now. They have armored 3, so this is actually a good rail fight for A-Game to take right now. As well as he has a little bit of mini high ground here off of this hill. If these AVs were like right here, this would maybe be a bit different, but this is some huge damage that descara has taken. Check the units lost tab here right now. Yeah, he's starting to fall behind there in a big way here. These assault rails could get chipped up pretty bad on their approach. But the turret firing at Sandskimmers first, that's pretty crucial, and I think they're going to get into position here. They're going to choose to back away, actually. Yeah, that's probably wise, especially with another turret getting set down here, but I almost think they might have been able to push up and siege down this position. Maybe it's a moot point, though. He can definitely do it now. So he's going to come in again. Turret should fall pretty quickly. It does take one Sandskimmer with it, but this high ground position is no longer in descara's hands, and I don't know what he's going to do about this. This is going to get pretty risky here. He's definitely very far behind in this scenario. Honor Guard Fab on the queue now. This production cruiser a little bit out of position, but that's okay. And this A-Game is going to start moving his carrier up there to help with the attack. These assault rails, I was literally just about to say, they can also head over to this side and try to stop the artifact, so that's very good from A-Game as well. And he's getting dart maneuver, which is always fun. It's like one of my favorite techs that nobody gets, but I almost would rather see him prioritize more into heavy rails and get range calibration. Sit up on this hill and then you can just do whatever you want, I think. Although you do always have to worry about descara getting artillery, but being so far behind in this position, I don't think that's ever going to happen, not anytime soon anyway. Although, I say it, Assault Cruiser Fabrication is actually on the queue here, so... I think Armor 3 just finished on descara's railguns. A-Game going to try to snipe this artifact. He is going to get it. That was pretty close with the carrier block, but he does manage that one. And honor guards are on the queue. Yeah, this looks like a wrap to me. The A-Game is very far ahead here. You never know what kind of amazing throws someone could pull if you're watching me play a game, but A-Game is a lot more consistent than that. So this is probably a really good position. Heavy railguns marching up toward that high ground position I was talking about earlier now. Descara gonna have to leave like 4 of these guys here in case the assault rails push in on that location. So he's not even got the rail numbers, I don't think. Let's see, it's 6 on 6 here, yeah. Of course, Gaussian rails he would generally favor in a one-on-one fight. Especially if they got range calibration, but... This is gonna be totally fine as well, and this is a lot of assault railguns, oh my gosh. It's like 9 of them chilling out over here. They have dart maneuver as well, so they can jump on top of rails. It's pretty scary. And I think A-Game has definitely made the right choice sending them over, because it looks like descara is here. And if he uses dart and just jumps in there, I bet he wins this. Descara, I think, is thinking the same thing. He's going to back away here now. A little awkward on the high ground here. A-Game is not really able to attack with all of his rails at the same time, but he does still have that huge advantage from being on high ground. And that's going to take him this fight. And now the assault rails can just kind of do whatever they please. There's also an honor guard in the hill, in the hood. That's just icing on the cake, isn't it? Here come these Sandskimmers too, and the AVs have all fallen off. I'm not sure why they're backing away. I would just get up here on top of these rails, but... Oh man, they already have damage 1 as well. Damage 2 perhaps going to be on the way. Oh no, it is on the way. And so this is pretty bad damage. Descara just totally forced off his main. He's not going to get back there for some time. Going for a little bit of a counterattack. I like this. So you got to be proactive, see what you can do on the opponent's side of the field. But it's only 3 AAVs. I think that these assault rails will be able to deal with it. I mean, it'll get something done perhaps, but it's a good time to use dart. Get out of there. Go, go, go. Go. Oh my gosh. Well, that's unfortunate. Dead packs being deployed here. A little bit of damage done by them, not too much. But with the AV smoke here and the lack of dart, which he's got, I mean, you have the tech, you know. You can even jump through your opponent and force them to rotate the turret. That's always kind of annoying. So this is doing a bit more damage than I... perhaps I'm wrong. He's actually only killed 1 salvager. At least he's delaying the reinforcements. You know, they're focused on that area. Taxing his opponent's micro too is always good. You can see this guy was set to just guard the carrier. He moved out to the front and he got killed there. So it's done some damage. It's done some damage. But I think obvious to see it's not nearly as much as was done to A-Game's side here. Although, that being said, there's a whole lot of rails up here, like 9 railguns now against just 4 from A-Game. Maybe I'm just a fanboy, but I really think range calibration would do some good here. But this is still a lot of assault rails here. And if they go up against this assault cruiser, they're gonna kill it. So A-Game's got to be careful about that. Descara's rails moving up here onto the north. I like them being somewhat away from the carry here. This feels like a nice position. That's going to force A-Game to retreat, but in the retreat he's got a really bad carrier block going on here. Oh no, his rails can't shoot at all right now. Ooh, this is really bad actually. He could lose the honor guard for this. In fact, I would like to have seen... yeah, I would like to have seen Descara focus down the honor guard during that push there. It's still getting carrier blocked though. Oh. That was nasty. I think he could have kept pushing there. I mean, he's got really good numbers. Okay, but here come the assault rails though. They've got something to say about it. Attack missile barrage could be nasty here, but it looks like he's gonna put it into the what's it called, overcharge there. Sandskimmers here just kind of have a death wish. I don't think they should be here at all. We'll see what happens though. That AC is gonna kill them pretty fast though. Well, maybe they're gonna get the support cruiser. We already saw one go down to these rails. Assault rails used the dart already, so they're not really available to get out of the hood here. So he's gonna take quite a few losses to these heavy rails, but you know, this is turning into an interesting game. Like, Descara keeps having his eco punished, but his army all of a sudden looks a lot better. And I feel like A-Game is going to be able to rebuild. Like, that's probably not an issue for him, but I don't know. This is interesting anyway. Another AC, it looks like, is finishing over on this side. And he still has, like, how many rails is this? 9? That's quite a few. You compare it to A-Game's 8, though, which are on high ground. So he's not going to be able to push out like this. He's just got to kind of, you know, be on the back foot, try and rebuild his eco here, which is never really where you want to be at any stage of the game, but I'd love to see him put on the healing as well on this carrier, but I imagine being insensitive so much, he's kind of unaware how much damage these guys have taken, so trying times here in Descara's camp. A-Game's starting to put on the pressure too, I think, with the artifacts. He's got 3 of them. He has a base burner out here, which is going to try to extract. I mean, no doubt, while he had control of this area, he was extracting quite a bit. That's where these 2 artifacts that he scored recently have come from. He's got a whole bunch of sandskimmers over on this end, but Descara is being cautious and leaving an assault cruiser back in that location. Recently just used the heal ability, so he's back up at full health. Should have overcharge ready by the time they come, but he's kind of moving away actually. I really like this guy here. This is definitely where he wants to be. And here come these sandskimmers. Salvagers getting pulled off the line here. And they're going to give respect to the AC, so they're going to back away. You often see it on Firebase Curl, these kind of standoffs between the 2 areas of the field. I think what's really interesting about this map is that this blocks A-Game's extraction zone, but we can't really have the standstill going on both of the high ground positions here because we don't have enough army for it. Like, if our opponent then really commits, he'll be able to like push us off of this high ground. So it's always a question on this map of like, how much do you want to commit to which side of the field, which I really find interesting. Range calibration is going to be the tech here finally. Coming out at about the 20-minute mark, it looks like. Another honor guard on the queue, so we already have 2 of them out. Sandskimmer's looking for some kind of angle that they can do some damage, but I see nothing. The assault cruiser just managing to hold this field very tight. Obviously, like, there's a bit of an opening back here, but you never want to like push in like that. You know, things get nasty real fast when you get your sandskimmers trapped. If anyone can tell you that, it ought to be me. I'm notorious for getting my sand skimmers just like stuck in and dying. I don't think that's what that quote means, but I know what you're trying to say. Power 4 on the queue for descara, so he has actually kind of won the power war with A-Game here. And that's interesting being so far behind in eco, but with A-Game having all those artifacts, his carrier still looks scarier than descara's here. Yeah, he's got the scarier carrier, right? Yeah. Anyway, Assault Cruiser gonna make a little bit of a poke here. No, okay, he's just repositioning up to the extraction zone. Oh, I see. He's got to do that because otherwise this artifact could extract here. But he sees the sand skimmers coming back, he has to pull around. And he's, oh my gosh, he's just gonna get melted. Ooh. Ouch, dude. Abrela's on a high ground though, probably gonna kill one of these honor guard cruisers here, but without any, no, it's gonna get away. Without any assault cruisers here, A-Game feels like now is the time that he can pop up here, do some damage with his sand skimmers. And I think he's correct. And if he can just get a couple more rail numbers here, you know, he's ready to push in with all these heavy rails. Awkwardly, they're still on range calibration. I would turn that off here. But descara gonna send his carrier over here just for the damage control. I think this is the perfect time to come over and strike on the other side of the map. These assault rails here didn't really contribute to this push. Like, imagine if they were here, like, moving out right now. I'd be really afraid. There's an assault cruiser here, perhaps, but still, though, that would be really dangerous. Oof! How did that happen? Yeah, they often do. They often do. A lot of games that you feel like it's really even and you're having to like struggle really hard to win, it turns out you were just ahead the whole time, but it's deceptive though, because like one little throw and you can lose the game, you know what I mean? AC gonna ward off these sand skimmers. Good splitting by A-Game, gonna only result in like 2 or 3 of them getting killed there. That's pretty good. In fact, I'm interested in the units lost tab. Whoa! Look at that. This is kind of what I was feeling, right? Is that descara's got his eco wiped so many times that A-Game is still ahead with this many losses, but that's worse than I thought. That's interesting. Bit of a fight going on over here. Honor Guard's getting some good shots in. Yeah, decent rail blob getting thrown away. Oh, I think descara dies now. His carrier getting really low, that's for sure. A-Game probably going to want to push this advantage here. Obviously, if the rails have to come in to try to defend, they're just going to get killed. This army from A-Game is really scary. Now, it looks like descara is going to get away for now, but pushing forward? Yeah, he's giving it a move order to come forward. I don't know what he's doing here. Yeah, he doesn't even have nuke ready yet, so... Oh, yeah. Number 4. No, that wasn't pathing. He actually had given it a move order into the middle there, but I guess he had to. It was Desperado against the artifact. And A-Game is going to take game 1. In actually pretty convincing fashion, I suppose. I feel like ever since the first rail fight, A-Game's been ahead. He took out the eco with the assault rails over here, actually. I think that's when he just solidified his advantage pretty far. I mean, you can see, you know... Oh, me too, Roby. Me too. You can see when that probe gets killed right in the beginning of the game here, that had a huge impact. It allows A-Game to go for greed, get this big army set up, and I think quite a lot of the game was easier for him because of that. Well played, of course, though, to both sides. Let's boot up game 2 here, see what happens. Like, more than just the carrier and the production cruisers, but like more types of production ships, you mean? Anyway, moving into game 2 here, it's going to be on Kartoba now. This one going to be A-Game's pick. Factions stayed the same. A-Game picking the faction this time though, but I don't think descara really wanted to play GVG anyway, so no surprises here, and this is kind of a favorite map of AGameAnx, so understandable we'd find ourselves in it. But guys, wouldn't it be cool if you could drive on top of the Kartoba? Just saying. Anyway, Someone tested this, by the way. I have a video of it, I think, where like we're inside of the Kartova with LAVs and stuff. And the whole thing counts as a line of sight blocker, so like if you put your carrier here, like nothing can attack it except for air units. So even if the opponent's carrier is like on top of it. Well, yes, Roby, that's the joke. Thanks for ruining it. Jeez. This time though, we have a base runner getting retired. PC moving out here to set up another salvager onto the long distance base, send skimmer fab on the way. So I think we're probably going to see assault ships, but it might be railguns, which would be exciting. As for Descara, I believe we are seeing the same thing. Yep, it's going to be SC first. Typically we're going to see him tech LAV fab after this, doing a little quick drop for it, and then he'll quick drop for the probe. He should know what A-Game is up to, you know, in like 20 seconds or so, but we'll see. Well, I mean, we don't even know what A-Game is up to, but he doesn't play Soban, I think, in a large degree because of the lack of the early game turret, to be honest. But Descara's, or sorry, Coalition is definitely his style, you know what I mean? And you can definitely say rail spam would be, you know, even better if he was Soban. You can say stuff like this, but he's made it work as Coalition. Like, that's kind of just what he plays. He has done Soban before, but that's not really his thing. Scouting the lack of the PC, I think he already knows what's going on, but he's going out to check it anyway. It's going to be rail fab from A-Game. Sure enough, sees the PC. Probably his next move is to sit the probe on top of the carrier and find out what the tech is going to be. As for himself, I think he wants to tech railfab here, but we'll see what he chooses to do. At any rate, he feels no pressure, as you can see, to get his second base set up, so he's going to back up and be here with his main base eco. Well, people say that Soban is defensive. They're defensive in the mid-game, you know what I mean? But in the early game, when Descara wants to go greed, this is not good to be Soban. The presence of this Coalition turret is just so powerful. Oh my gosh. What? I didn't think that was going to happen. A-Game killed the probe. He sent the PC back and he killed the probe before tech was revealed. Oh boy, well what are you going to do now, Descara? That's... wow. He is going to tech rails, so he's got the right idea. That's genius, man. I don't know, somehow I never thought of doing that. That's insane, because I mean, I even said, like, yeah, you know, the key now is to sit the probe on top of the carrier and check out the tech, but, A-Game's showing me up here a little bit, and we have some good damage getting done by, oh no, by A-Game here, killing a couple of salvagers. Descara unable to keep the field with these, LAVs just yet. Turret gets set down, that'll protect him against assault ships, but that's not what's coming. And yeah, what A-Game is saying here is that he canceled rail fab and he started up AV fab, which is really bad for him. You can see, without that probe, he's just kind of doubting himself. He's not sure what he needs here. But really unfortunately for him, he's picked the wrong choice. Seeing this heavy rail, I don't know what you do now. Like, do you cancel this again? This is enough sand skimmers, I think, to overpower the turret. Especially in this location, they can just come in on the back line, I think. EMP. Oh, EMP's the turret now. It's not going to be able to shoot. Oh no, this is terrible. Actually, it's still shot. But as you can see, like, the turret's not going to work against that many sand skimmers. What does Descara do now? I don't even know. He's got to kind of, like, move off onto this third. But, I mean, obviously he's going to get pushed off the main eventually. Like, his new main being his second. Yeah, he's had enough of it. That's going to be the end. Dang. That's incredible. By the way, I'd just like to point out, this is like the only time that EMP rounds are actually teched for on the heavy rails, which is really exciting. Dang, man. That's incredible. Just popping the PC back and killing the probe off the carrier, that's like such a simple idea, you know, but like no one does this. That's so cool. Well, color me happy. Wait, that's bad English. I'm very glad that this happened. This was an interesting series. Dang. Well, I think I'll put this onto YouTube like right after I finish stream, but yeah. Thanks for tuning in.